Hi, my name's Rosie Cullen. I'll be reading an extract from a novel, The White-Faced Data of Richard Brinsley Sheridan Mystery. The inspiration for the novel has really come from my love of history, and partly inspired by the desire to write something historical but also a crime novel. I was looking for a detective figure, and I love the idea of mashing real people with a fictional world. And my inspiration was Richard Brinsley Sheridan, the playwright and politician. And I felt he was a really interesting character who kind of crosses so many stratas of society, from the kind of low life around Drury Lane and St Giles and the world of the theatre, and also his friendship with the Prince of Wales, which brought him into aristocratic and court circles. So he's somebody who had access to all areas, which is always great for a detective. So I hope you'll enjoy the extract. Chapter 1. Richard Brinsley Sheridan lurched down the steps of Brooks Club and steadied himself on the railing. He pulled his greatcoat closer about his frame, already missing the warmth of the fires within and the unfinished bottle of claret which he had left at his seat. But he must get to Haymarket to catch the manager at the King's Theatre. His company had taken up temporary residence whilst the new Theatre Royal on Drury Lane was under construction. In these makeshift premises he was beset with grumbles from his actors and complaints from the vast army backstage, not least the wardrobe mistress. In truth, however, there was another he hoped to see that evening. A young woman, it had become his fancy, might help to lift the blue devils which had consumed him since his wife Eliza's death. "Dick!" Sheridan turned. It was Major Hanger, who clapped an overly familiar hand on his shoulder as he too disgorged from Brooks. The Prince of Wales equerry grinned lopsided. "I'm to remind you that His Highness will be expecting your company in Brighton on the morrow." "I have not forgotten, Major." Hanger nodded. "I never took you for a betting man, Dick." Sheridan flushed. There were many failings he would honestly own, but gambling had not been one of them. He had always considered it a foolish vice and been open-mouthed at the vast sums which various friends squandered on the tables and at the track. Of course, Sheridan did not have the funds to risk his flimsy credit to chance, yet these past months he had become wild and reckless. He was out of kilter. He was not himself. "You're not yourself, I think." Hanger eyed him kindly, and Sheridan wondered at why he and this fellow Irishman were not better friends, for George Hanger was quick of wit and game for any sort of jape. "We look forward to the pleasure of your company at the Marine Pavilion." Hanger gave a short bow and stepped into a waiting carriage. As Sheridan headed into the fug belching out from London's chimneys, he mused on what the summons to the Prince might mean. Whatever the reason, he would be called upon to entertain the party. Of that he could be certain. "God's blood!" He was roughly shoved to one side. More savage oaths followed. Distracted by his thoughts and cloaked in the miasma of the fog, he had stumbled amongst a group of steaming, beery men. Sheridan's mind raced to determine their purpose. They were clearly riled. Propelled to what end? He looked about to get his bearings. The drunken mob surged in from passages on both sides to centre on a shop. A watchmaker, Sheridan deduced from the signage. "Hang the bloody traitors!" a thick-necked ruffian bellowed. And quarter, squeaked another, waving his cudgel. Alarmed, Sheridan strained to make out the name above the premises. Monsieur Bernard de Lubac. An old Huguenot? Or Papist? Sheridan shuddered. The violent intent of the mob was palpable.